Space Wasp woke up as Star Shuttle brought aboard her Dark Daisy. She needed to see the weeping child and trans-assimilated to the planet Dooster. But the droid spider would not let her enter the catacombs. A curious rabbit said he could get Space Wasp in to see the weeping child if she met him tomorrow evening. Funny idea for a date, lad, she thought. Space Wasp trans-assimilated to the outskirts of the galaxy and the space station of Axolo. Space Wasp trans-assimilated to the hospital galaxy Plenthea. On a psychiatric planet, she records the humans talking about the clod. "That's an interesting bloom you carry," said the woman, and Space Wasp gave her one of her dark daisies. The nurse bots loved how she was so good with the patients, but Space Wasp had other motives. Back on her back solo in a quiet corner of the space station, Space Wasp meets the rabbit who has a curious cube that he uses to directly trans-assimilate them into the catacombs on planet Dooster. Space Wasp is quick and ahead of the rabbit, and lays one of her dark daisies on the last resting place of the weeping child. "I hope you'll bring me back to pay my respects to the weeping child again," she said to the rabbit. "If you'll come and see the laser molds with me sometime," he answered. Funny idea for a second date, fella, she thought. That curious cube could come in useful, though. She listened to their stories, and about the shadow gleams, about how terrible it had been, and how they'd lost loved ones because of them. Yes, I suppose they were pretty terrible, Space Wasp thought. The Space Gibbons spoke about how they now help the victims of the shadow gleams. "You know, if you ever need to talk, we're always here," said Space Gibbon. "You mean you live on a festival planet?" said Space Wasp. "Yes, where could be better to live than a place of permanent celebration?" If her mates had been there, she would have made fun of him. And as the warming toffee fractals melted in her stomach, Space Wasp trans-assimilated to a back solo. But her collection had disappeared. How? She slumped. Space Wasp was wandering the lanes of her space station home. She punched a tree. A psychic network notice entered her thoughts. Well, I've spruced and I've titivated, but I feel no sense of achievement. It's no good, it's not for me. Where is that blooming rabbit with my mysterious collection? And how did he know about it? Space Wasp felt a slight fluttering in her stomachs. A psychic network message entered her thoughts. Yes. Come on then, why are we here? Just wait and see, answered the curious rabbit. The laser molds rose into the air, and as the stars flustered, the molds used the light to share their digital DNA. Very nice. I've seen it all before, though. Well, you've got some funny ideas for what to do on a date. You mean one of the 8,000 wonders of the Barricaldo planetoid, and it does nothing for you? Shall we go back to the catacombs to pay our respects, then? Date? What date? The curious rabbit, using his curious cube, directly transaximulated them back into the catacombs on planet Dooster. And Space Wasp took back her dark daisy from the last resting place of the weeping child. So, where is my mysterious collection, then? Space Wasp fired her levitation disc. It broke the synthetic webbing of a droid spider descending on the rabbit, and brought back the curious cube to Space Wasp. I'm going to keep this curious cube and use it to get back my collection. You can't. The cube only works for me, answered the rabbit. There'll be more droid spiders along any moment now. And Space Wasp gave back the rabbit his cube. As Space Wasp transaximulated into a quiet corner of the universe, a psychic network message entered her thoughts. She turned on the recordings of the humans from the psychiatric planet. Space Wasp heard the familiar shuffling from her vault. This one's trouble. Thanks for your help.